Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I plan to start 100 petunia plants in about 2 square feet of space for about $6. So I don't know about you, but lately I found that starts at nurseries for flowers and vegetables have gotten really expensive. I'm also having a hard time finding flower starts in 6 packs. I feel like I used to be able to find that all over the place, and now they're hard to come by. And then even if I find them, they're pretty expensive, or they're overgrown. They've already bloomed a lot. They're root bound. There's lots of problems. And I don't want to buy 4-inch pots, which is what's mostly available, because I have a space right now that we need to fill with petunias that's about 55 feet long and in our front yard. There's no way I want to buy 100 plants from a nursery for like $5 or $6 each to fill that space. So I'm going to use my AeroGarden to start petunias indoors. So usually when you get an AeroGarden, it comes with the standard tray. And this one is the Bounty, and it allows you to grow 9 plants at once if you wanted to. And this is for if you wanted to plant them from start to finish and grow them indoors, not transplant them outside. And so typically you would buy these little pre-filled, these little cones that come usually with a sponge in it with the seeds already in there. And you can buy these straight from AeroGarden. You can also buy empty ones and put your own seeds in these little pods. And then they just fit in here like that, and you would grow whatever it is you want to grow. I've done peppers indoors, I've done lettuce, I've done cilantro, I've even done like a micro dwarf tomato variety. It grows really fast too. So that's what this system is really designed for. But a few years ago, they came out with the seed starting system, which expands your growing space to about 50 plugs, or this one does have 50 plugs. This is the Bounty model. So I'm going to use my AeroGarden to start petunias indoors. I've done this before, and I believe it took about 3 weeks before they were ready to transplant outside. And I happen to have 3 of these with the seed starting system. So today I'm going to use 2 of these to plant petunias. And in another one, I've already planted corn, which is a big experiment. We'll see if that even works at all. And then I have a smaller one that I've planted bunching onions that I'm going to just plug in throughout my garden in spaces that have, an empty spot. So the system this is a water basin. There you go. That's the water basin. And it comes with nutrients that you would pour inside. And the machine will tell you, it'll preset how often the lights go on and for how long. And it will also remind you when you need to put more water in and when you need to add nutrients. These little pods here are filled with little sponges that you can buy. There's an AeroGarden brand you can buy on Amazon or on AeroGarden's website. But for the flowers, for our 55-foot flower border that we want to create, I'm going to use the regular sponges that came with the AeroGarden. And when you buy the seed system, this little tray that fits in, it also comes with 50 sponges that fit in. So I'm just pull one out. These are already soaking wet because I've been pre-soaking them, which is important to do if you're going to start seeds. You want the sponges all to be very wet. So this is what they look like. You have a little hole in the top for you to put your little seeds in. You don't, obviously these are sponges, so you don't cover them up with soil like you would, often with regular seeds or regular, if you're using soil. You just drop them in the sponge and they grow. So let me show you what I'm going to plant in here. I'm going to use this petunia balcony mix, which is lots of pinks and purple. Pink and purple are my favorite colors, so you'll see a lot of flowers around my place in these colors. And then I have this one. These are called Prism Sunshine. There's no picture, but I'll stick a picture in the video to show you what those look like. And so in total, there should be, this one says it has 800 seeds in it. That's great. The yellow one comes with pelleted seeds, which I've never actually worked with before, but basically when you have really tiny seeds like petunias, they'll put like some kind of a material around each seed. You'll see this with carrots as well. It just helps you with spacing if you're planting outside, or it's hard to fumble with teeny tiny seeds. I'm interested to see what these look like, and there should be exactly 50 in here. So I'm going to do one AeroGarden with this mix and another AeroGarden, same size, same type, with the yellow mix. And then when we go to plant these outdoors, we'll be able to alternate the colors easily because I'm keeping track of the yellow ones in one thing and the pink and purple ones in another. All right, so for the video, I'm going to take the light off temporarily. And I'm going to move this and set up another camera so you can see a little closer what I'm doing. Okay, so here are the seeds. See how tiny? These are even smaller than poppy seeds. Really, really tiny. So I'm going to do my best to pinch, a couple of seeds. Maybe I'll even use the tweezers and get just a few, like hopefully only like 2 or 3 in each little sponge, grow sponge. So I just pinch a few. So this one is done. I'm going to move it out of the way and then go grab the other one to plant the yellow seeds in. Okay, here we go. Here's number 2. These are for the yellow petunias, and I mentioned these ones are pelleted seeds, which come in this teeny tiny little vial. And even though they're coated, they are still like poppy seeds size, and there are only 50 in here. So I'm only going to plant 1 per sponge, and it's going to be tricky to separate them out. So this one's done, and now we're ready to go set these up in the other room with the lights and plug them in. So this one I've already gotten here. This is the corn experiment I mentioned. The plastic wrap is to help hold in moisture. Supposedly it's not necessary, but in this case, I find that the little sponges tend to dry out a little bit sometimes. So I'm just going to leave it plastic until I start to see germination. This plugs in the pump that pumps the water inside. Put our light. All right. One more light. Now I have these in the window just because we're trying to put them in a place in a room where we don't hang out a lot, because the lights, which are running, I believe, 17 hours for starting seeds, they can be annoying to look at. If you were doing this at home, you do not need a sunny spot for these to work. You could put it in a completely dark room. I had one going in my laundry room. I have the green onion one in my bathroom right now. Okay, so when you first plug it in, it's gonna ask you to start a new garden, or if your power went off. In this case, I'm starting a new garden. Start new garden, okay. Quick plant, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let it ask me questions. What time is it right now? Okay. Select the garden type you're planting. I am planting seeds, so we can do herbs, lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, flowers, custom, seed starter. That's what I'm going to choose. And then it lets me adjust if I want what time I want the lights to start and end each day. So if you wanted it to be mostly overnight while you're sleeping, this would be your opportunity to change that. This one by default is going to be on for 16 hours. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Water. Pour water to the fill line. I already did that. Plant seeds. Already did that. Plant food. Okay, so I'm going to start, I believe the instructions said for this model to use 3 capfuls when you first start your garden. So I am going to put those, this little thing right here, this is where you pour water in. You can see the pump working. This is also where you would pour nutrients in. So I'm going to open that up. And again, here are the nutrients that came with it. I'll shake it up. This can be messy. Whoa, yeah, this can be really messy. Okay, so I'm just going to do 3 capfuls. All right, so I said I did plant food, so I'm going to say okay. And it says I am now ready and it is good to go. And down here on the screen, it tells me the water is full. It has been planted for 0 days. And in 14 days, it's going to remind me to add nutrients again. Now I'm just going to do the same thing to this one. Okay, so I now have all 3 completely planted and ready to go. I'm just going to cover the last 2 with the saran wrap on the top to help keep the moisture on the top of the sponges. And then we're just going to wait and see. All right, that's it with me. I hope you'll check in again in maybe a week or 2. I'll let you know as soon as they start to germinate, and I'll show you when it's time to transplant them outside and how I do that. Thanks for watching.